Greetings, fellow Martians. My name is Nora Hovee. I am the Mars Society Chapters Director. We have chapters in 29 countries around the world, 6 of the 7 continents. If anyone wants to start a chapter in Antarctica, get in touch with me. Our chapters are awesome. In spite of all the obstacles, and many chapters are on hold, some have risen to the challenge by taking their efforts to the virtual world or continue planning for next year. They continue to move forward, hold online discussion groups and events. In fact, this year has seen a significant rise in networking and collaboration. I wish I could share all of what's happening, but here are some of the highlights by region. Starting off with Europe, Mars Society Austria, in cooperation with Mars Society Israel and the Israeli Space Agency, is pleased to announce the October 2021 launch of an integrated Mars analog field mission to be conducted in the Negev desert. And I'll be sharing a little bit more about that when we get to Mars Society Israel. Our chapter in Germany, in spite of Corona restrictions, is still actively pursuing its Archimedes Mars balloon project. It's an atmospheric entry flight test program called Miriam with a 5-meter balloon. A launch is scheduled for 2021. Mars Society Poland was able to pivot past the setbacks brought on by COVID by holding a successful European rover challenge conducted remotely. Mars Society Spain continues to prepare their project, which won an international competition sponsored by the United Nations. It will examine the effect of microgravity on bacteria, and it's slated to be aboard the Chinese space station in 2022. Mars Society Switzerland has forged ahead with several analog projects. Its first mission, which will take place in a remote corner of Switzerland, is scheduled for 2021. So moving on to the Middle East and Africa, we are excited to introduce to you a new chapter, Mars Society Kenya. And later on in this presentation, you will meet this new team and hear about their plans. Now, as mentioned earlier, Mars Society Israel is collaborating with Mars Society Austria to launch Amadi 20. It's a Mars simulation which will include researchers from over 20 nations. It is currently scheduled for October 2021. It will include a brand new habitat with a fully fledged mission support center. Another new chapter is Mars Society Kuwait. And as I promised, you will be meeting this chapter and our other new chapters at the end of this presentation. So on to Asia and the Pacific. Mars Society Australia continues its distinguished collaboration with Australia's Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Research Organization in the development of Mars analog studies. Before the 2020 University Rover Challenge was unfortunately canceled, Mars Society Bangladesh through BRAC University was one of the top qualifiers. In China, on August 6th, 2020, the Haiyuan Museum hosted an international scientific themed salon entitled Peaceful Exploration of Mars and Expanding Human Civilization. It was a joint project by the China World Peace Foundation, the United Emirates Embassy, and Mars Society China. Representatives from 12 countries participated. Mars Society Japan continues to be active with education and outreach. They also support Japanese MDRS crew as needed. Mars Society Japan also served as judges in the Hewlett-Packard Mars City Design Competition. Our New Zealand chapter is creating the first permanent Mars exhibition at a major museum in New Zealand, and the opening is scheduled for this year. Mars Society Asia continues its exciting work with rovers through the Indian Rover Challenge and the Indian Rover Design Challenge. September 12 through 14, they organized a first of its kind, the Mars Rover Teams Conference. Rover teams from around the world came together online to discuss the challenges faced by rover teams in post-pandemic or in this post-pandemic era. In October, they will have one more competition called Mars Hackathon. Teams will provide solutions to the problems facing future Mars missions and colonies. Moving on to Central and South America. COVID may present roadblocks, but our chapters have found a way. Mars Society Argentina remains a busy chapter by producing a space blog and a series of YouTube talks called The Space in Our Lives. Look for a book they have written. It's called Mars, Past, Present, and Future. It will be presented at the April 2021 Argentine Conference of Space Technology. Mars Society Brazil continues its outstanding work with Mars analogs through Habitat Marte, the Mars Research Group, and the Rio Grande do Norte State Aerospace Forum. Mars Society Chile has also written a book. It's on planetary science, which will be available soon. Along with our teleconvention, they are involved with the Colombian Astrobiology Convention and a Maker Weekend event. Mars Society Colombia reports that construction plans for a Mars analog called Avalon, those plans are ready. They also participated in the European Rover Challenge 2020 competition, which was hosted by Mars Society. Mars Society Latin America has helped to facilitate collaborations with other Mars Society chapters like Chile, Argentina, and Peru. They organized the first edition of the online scavenger space hunt, a regional activity where the participants solve puzzles looking for clues through Google and different websites. Members also participated in Talentland 2020 with the talk entitled Surviving Mars, Training in Analog Missions. Mars Society Latin America also organized a webinar entitled Space Quarantine, How the Space Sector Prepares Us for Modern Challenges. So ending with the North American region, we are pleased to announce another new Mars Society chapter. This one, Mars Society Boston. Stay tuned to meet them later. The Northern California chapter still holds regular monthly video meetings during the pandemic. They are currently designing a next generation MDRS swimsuit. They also plan on refurbishing the current MDRS swimsuits prior to the next crew season. In Southern California, Mars Society High Desert continues its outreach through virtual education and discussion sessions. Mars Society Canada is pleased to share about the development of a Martian habitat utilizing the principles of origami and a series of articles about ISRU. And one of their members looks forward to participating in an MDRS mission next year. Mars Society Nevada is investigating sites for future Mars analogs. Candidates include Lunar Crater, which was an original candidate for the MDRS back in 2000. They are also looking at Black Rock Desert, home of Burning Man. Our chapter in Ohio leads the way in reaching out to students and the general public. For years, they have averaged setting up their display at least once a month. The COVID lockdown put everything on hold, but they still had a presence in January and February at the Sinclair Community College Tech Fest and the University of Cincinnati Southwest Virtual Science and Engineering Expo. A lockdown hasn't kept them down for long. They are currently developing a Mars Base Camp resource, which will contain all Martian geologic features identified by the IAU and USGS. We also have another new chapter in Philadelphia. And as promised, you will meet these new chapters at the end of this update. Mars Society Seattle is helping to organize the NASA Space Apps Challenge and will conduct a virtual hackathon in October. They have been participating in monthly virtual meetups with the NSS Seattle and the Space City Seattle organization. I want to thank all of you who are finding ways to move forward. 2020 may be remembered as the year of setbacks, but it has also proven to be a year of creativity in finding unique solutions to the totally unexpected. And isn't that what we're all about? I would now like to transition to something I promised, and that's meeting our newest chapters. In spite of worldwide restrictions, I am pleased to introduce you to Mars Society chapters in Boston, Kenya, Kuwait, and Philadelphia. We will now meet them all virtually. I am done, James, with this part. Hello, everyone. I again have the privilege and pleasure of introducing one of our new chapters. This time it's Mars Society Boston. So I'm going to let the guys introduce themselves, and I'm going to pass it off to Aaron first.
Hi, I'm Aaron Jushaw. I'm the treasurer of our newest chapter here in Boston, and I am a graduate student in the mechanical engineering department here at Boston University. I'd like to introduce our wonderful vice president, Sean Gillen.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sean Gillen. I'm the vice president of this new chapter in Boston. I'm also a student at Boston University, a graduate student studying mechanical engineering. I'd like to introduce Jack Locke, our chapter president.
Hi, how's it going? I'm Jack Locke, the president, and I'm an electrical and computer engineering graduate student here at Boston University with a focus in robotics. We started this chapter this year out of the engineering department at Boston U, and while we're not exclusive to engineers, we did it so we could apply the engineering skills we're learning to problems facing Mars and space exploration and learn more about that. In addition to educating ourselves, we also intend to, as a chapter, sort of spread Mars education into the community and take what we're learning and give it out as well, so Mars becomes more accessible to people. Since we started this chapter during the pandemic, our plans for the next year mostly revolve around increasing our membership base and finding ways to have events to increase the education and do fun space things via Zoom or in small gatherings. But for our first project, our plan is to design and construct a hydroponics module that's completely self-contained, with the idea that it could be used in some sort of transit to Mars or Mars-based situation. But we have a handful of other projects in the works as well. So in addition to increasing our knowledge, we're just excited to participate in the larger community of space activists for a crewed mission to Mars. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks, Jack, and thanks, guys. We're excited with you. This is just so encouraging to think that even in the midst of all these restrictions, things are still happening. So again, we're looking forward to your future, and I'm going to sign off now. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hello again, everyone. I am so pleased to introduce to you one of our newest chapters, Mars Society Kenya. It's been a long time in coming, but here we are. We have two of the team members here. I would like them to introduce themselves. So let's begin with Stephen.
Yes, thank you. I'm Stephen Munyao from Kenya. I'm a member of Mars Society. I'm working at a IT profession in Kenya. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Isaac Gabu from the Mars Society of Kenya. Here in Mars Society of Kenya, we first of all would like to be recognized as a chapter in Kenya of the Mars Society. Number two, we are looking at establishing a habitat somewhere in Turkana County in Kenya. And we have also partnered with the Technical University of Kenya. The students will help in providing STEM education. Thank you.
Well, thank you guys for taking this challenge on. We look forward to what's going to happen in Kenya. We want to be there for you to ensure that this does make a big difference, not just in Kenya, but in all of Africa. So we look forward to staying in touch with you. And if anyone out there wants to collaborate with Mars Society Kenya, please get in touch with me. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome, world. I would like, or I should say I have the privilege of introducing you to one of our newest chapters, Mars Society Kuwait. I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves and say just a bit about what we're all in love with here. So ladies first.
Hello, I'm Amal Khulaifi. I'm an electrical engineer. I'm passionate about innovation and technology, and I'm excited to develop new technologies that help us to get into Mars.
Okay, thank you. Next.
My name is Abdullah Sheikh. I'm a computer scientist. And what I like about Mars is the challenge involved in reaching it, especially the technology that needs to be developed to get to Mars.
Thank you. And next.
Hi, my name is Bedran Mola, and I'm an aspiring astronaut, and I really want us to be able to become a multiplanetary species.
Well, thank you. And last but not least.
Thank you, Ms. Nora, for the opportunity. Thank you to the Mars Society Network for giving us this chance to speak our mind and our opinions on Mars exploration, but more on that later. My name is Hussein Assad. I'm a civil engineer from Kuwait and one of the co-founding members of this chapter. What I find fascinating about Mars, or exploring Mars in general, any other planet in particular, is the aspect of human evolution and how that will contribute to the advancement of our civilization. I'm looking forward to the future as we explore other planets.
Well, it is indeed a pleasure to get to know you, to meet you. I know that you're very interested in collaborating with other chapters. Looking forward to your future. So thank you again, Mars Society, Kuwait.
Thank you.
I am very pleased to introduce to all of you one of our newest chapters, Mars Society, Philadelphia. And actually, I'm going to let the two co-founders introduce themselves and tell us what they have on their minds for the chapter's future. So take it away, Colin.
Nora, thank you very much. My name is Colin Lennox, one of the co-founders of MSP, or Mars Society Philly. And we like to think of ourselves as kind of the habitat chapter. My specific focus professionally is in mine remediation, which has specifically biological mine remediation, which has a lot of crossovers with ISRU, agriculture, carbon and water cycling. And that's a lot of the interests, as well as some of the other members within the group, especially Stelly. And actually, I'll go ahead and pass that over to him right now. Stelly J. Ford, our president. Stelly, thanks, man. And thank you, Nora.
All right, thanks, Colin. Thanks, Nora. So I am the aforementioned Stelly Justin Ford IV, and co-founder and chapter president with Colin here. So we got together and started this chapter after the 2019 Mars Society Convention, really with the idea of helping people in our area, get the skills and connections that they need to really become engaged with the emerging space. And so my background is in bioengineering and project management. So I'm really hoping to help develop projects that we come across in the Philadelphia and bigger Mars, society scene. All right, thanks, Nora. I'm going to pass it back to you.
Okay, well, guys, it's a pleasure getting to know you. I'm going to be watching you. You're just so interesting and excited, and that's what we need for moving forward. So we are now going to end this recording. As I conclude this report, I again want to thank everyone who has gone beyond the unexpected and has found a way to move forward in some very hard situations. I think it's a testimony to what we're all about. People, kindred spirits coming together for a common purpose, which is the mission to Mars. I look forward, if we can do what we did this year, then I'm looking forward to what's going to happen in 2021. If you have any questions, if you want to join a chapter or start a chapter, I'm still waiting for someone to, there's Kate McMurdo down in the Arctic. There's several other missions down there. I think it's worth looking into. But as I said, if you want to start a chapter, join a chapter. If you have any questions, I am always available. My name again is Nora Hovee, email me at nhovee@marssociety.com. And you can find that email address also on the website under chapters. So good night, everybody. Have a great rest of the year.